ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chase Nuclear Nukem, Director of Esports here at St. Cloud State University, and I'm joined here by Turney Ernie for your NECC Rocket League cast this week. Ernie, how are you doing?
I'm doing phenomenal right now. It's the midpoint of the season, things are just ramping up, and we're in studio for the first time this season.
Yeah, it's a pretty special moment for us. You've been casting online.
I have.
I've
been just at my little 2-monitor homebrew setup, and now we're in the esports arena. We have a production team. We're in the studio.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This is wild.
There's been a lot working up to this point, and we're very pleased to be bringing it to you live here on campus at St. Cloud State. We got a lot of action going on tonight, Ernie. Tell me what we're looking at in terms of matchups.
Yeah, so for matchups tonight, the St. Cloud State Huskies, who are 3-2 on the year, are taking on the Fighting Bees from St. Ambrose University, who are currently 4-0 coming into tonight. So for St. Cloud State, the odds could be stacked against them, but I like our chances.
I do like the chances as well, and obviously this is a bittersweet moment for me coming from St. Ambrose University as the Director of Esports over there. I'm very proud of them, but at the same time, I want to see our Huskies come out on top and dethrone the Fighting Bees in this region. So looking at the standings, I'm eager to see who we're having going into the matchup tonight.
And for the standing, it's a battle of the top four. 3-4 St. Ambrose right there at 4-0. St. Cloud State 3-2. They did fall to Wartburg Orange earlier in the week on Monday, but on Wednesday St. Cloud had a 3-0 sweep to leap over Wartburg once again. So for St. Cloud, they're knocking on the door of the top three.
Absolutely, and that's a playoffs run, if any, that I'm looking at and straight in my face. I believe that with this match, they could get the wind in their sails and really move into the season, in season with playoffs. But let's see what we have on the starting lineups on the side of St. Cloud State. Looks like we're going to have Power in Bunk and Slug Dog. Who do we got on the side of St. Ambrose?
And for St. Ambrose, we got Gatormelon, Flamethrower, and Schlonkers. That's so much fun to say. Schlonkers. He's on the other team, but when you have a good gamer tag, you just got to roll with it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I love the tag Schlonkers. And Kyle Schlonka, shout out to him. That's just a great last name. Real recognizes real, coming from, obviously, my name being Chase Nukem. But Gatormelon, also a very fun name to say, naturally. And the teams are getting ready right now in lobby. We're waiting for the kickoff to go, but excited for the matchup nonetheless. We're in week 6, so it's taken some time to get to this point, have this production live in person, but we're excited to be here now. We're excited to have the production in person, and we're doing this early so that when we get into postseason, this arena is going to be filled with folks cheering on the Huskies in their playoff run.
And playoffs, it's only 3-4 weeks away, if I'm correct. So, again, it's right around the corner. And like you mentioned earlier, St. Cloud State, they're starting to get the wind in their sails. And at some point, they could hit Mach 10 and could be unstoppable.
Oh, I know that's going to happen. I have nothing but faith. You can see the wonderful team over there in the corner. Coach Noah backing up the crew, ensuring that they're going to be successful tonight. You love to see it on both ends, honestly. I got a lot of love for both of these teams, so I'm just very eager to see how it plays out either way, truthfully.
And at this point, I think both teams they're settled in. You're no longer testing the waters. You know your strengths. You know your weaknesses. And now it's at the point to enforce your play style onto the other team.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be a battle of the play styles tonight. And we're going to see as we're heading straight into game, 5 minutes on the clock.
And right out of this one, we'll see St. Ambrose in the blue. Gatormelon shot just off the crossbar. St. Cloud State will be in the orange here. Power trying to work this one around the corner, loses possession for a moment. Bump going to hold the line. Slug Dog can't put a shot on. St. Ambrose going to get away with one early here. Flamethrower can't finish.
Very, very Flamethrower. And I'm honestly very excited to see this first game because in Rocket League, as you know, Ernie, the first game can be used to just sort of feel out the enemy team, see how they're playing that evening and what's going on in their minds.
There's about 45 seconds deep into game 1. Very neutral 50. Gatormelon. Slonker's going to work this one around. Again, high off the crossbar. Flamethrower right there. Goal line saved by Power, but it's going to be Gator Melon the finish. Put the Fighting Bees on the board first. As just a defensive breakdown for St. Cloud.
Yeah, Flamethrower tried to put that in. It's going to knock the crossbar. But that's what a great rotation will do for you. Gator Melon quickly cutting around and nailing that one in. The Huskies are going to have a stronger defense and really be ready for shots like that. And really that's what I've noticed thus far, Ernie, is they're having a hard time keeping it on SAU's end. This midfield control, St. Ambrose has pretty much been dominant with in this first minute.
Schlonker shot on, goes barred down and in from way downtown. Schlonkers doubles up for the Bees. And St. Cloud State is stunned.
Yeah, that was an absolute great play from Schlonkers. And that's adaptiveness, right? You need to be adaptive in Rocket League. You have to be cognizant of your rotation. But where's the ball on the field, and is that directly affecting your rotation for a positive or a negative change?
Two big mistouches by St. Ambrose. They're going to get away with one. Slugdog puts a shot on, saved away by Flamethrower, who's putting on a shot by himself. Gator Melon working through the corner. Schlonkers again from just about the same spot. Gets sent away by Slug. Now the Huskies looking to break out, going the other way.
Ooh, and that's going to be N-Bunk trying to keep this midfield control, but going to lose it quickly. Slugdog keeping that one out of the goal. Slonkers popping one up. That's going to be Power once again in this midfield. That's going to be, I think, the first demo of the game. Schlonkers on Power.
Schlonkers looking to draw first blood, we'll say.
Absolutely.
As for those who don't know, demos will give a team, if you demo a player, it will remove them from the pitch for 3 seconds. And it's a redirect. Gator Melon gets credit for the goal, as St. Ambrose was just peppering the net of St. Cloud, and St. Cloud just eventually broke down. What a redirect! Are you kidding me?
Wow. Yeah, that was a great angle from Gator Melon, pulling out his protractor. And like you said, they were battering the backboard, Ernie, ensuring that they were going to get the angle they were looking for. And after 3 hits, might as well just be in that goal. The Huskies are going to have to up their defense a little bit and really focus on tightening these rotations, getting the passes they're looking for to keep control. As we say that, N-Bunk trying to get a play off of the back corner, not quite finding it, and the control is going to go back over to St. Ambrose.
It was a quick challenge by Gator Melon, puts a shot on. N-Bunk was there on the goal line to make a stand. Soft shot from Flamethrower. Follow up, Gator back to Flamethrower. Just a phenomenal 1-2-1 play by the Bees.
And I love Flamethrower's goal. I love this goal that Flamethrower puts in. Just the animation of the goal, it's so clean.
I'll give him props. It's nice.
I'll give him props. It's a nice goal animation.
Huskies are able to, thought to win the kickoff. 2 minutes left here in game number 1. St. Cloud looking to find the just to get on the board. I think that's
winnable.
It's still winnable. We have seen crazier things happen. And Slug gonna slide one through. Cut the deficit down to 3. Hold on to your hats, ladies and gents.
We'll see if that's the $1 million play, because that was a slug dog millionaire if I've ever seen one.
You know, I've been calling this team for weeks, and I've yet to use that. Beat me to the punch.
Calling the team for weeks, Ernie, what do you think they need to do to really bring this back in this 4-1 situation?
To bring it back, honestly, I think you got to settle in. I think they're being a bit overwhelmed by St. Ambrose, as they're a very strong team. So for St. Cloud, I don't want to say you gotta crawl before you can walk. You gotta walk before you can run.
Right.
So right now for St. Cloud, they gotta learn how to crawl. That's a good stretch save there from Power. As we reach the final 90 seconds here in game number 1.
I couldn't agree with you more, Ernie, and I think that they're starting to feel that in their sales, right? I talked about how the first game can just be used as an opportunity to fail out the opponent, and as we narrowly get a shot in front of goal, no one's able to capitalize. St. Ambrose is going to take control once more.
St. Ambrose, they really like this right-hand side of the Husky end. Not finding anything to work with. N-Bunk looks to carry this one out, gets a flick past to 1, but he's met by Gator Melon at the midfield line. Schlonkers gets a demo on the Slug. Things have really slowed down to a molasses pace as the final minute begins to tick down. St. Cloud trail by 3. We got to get at least a 1 on the board to make this interesting here in the final 45.
Ooh, and that's a great save in the mid-play by Bunk, but Schlonkers is going to capitalize. Power knocking it back down in the midfield. That's a Gatormelon pass to Flamethrower, up to Schlonkers, going on goal, but that's going to be in.
Wow.
What a play from the Huskies. The Fighting Bees had set up such a miraculous pass back and forth, but man, oh man, the Huskies capitalizing well.
St. Cloud was on the ropes, and they managed to get away with one. Schlonkers trying to go top shelf, can't find anything. Final 10 seconds now, as St. Ambrose looks to have backed off the ball here. They're just waiting for St. Cloud to hit it back to them. Power center attempt passes behind Slugdog, and that'll do it for game number 1. St. Ambrose will take it 4-1.
Yeah, and honestly, a great game either way on both teams. Truthfully, 4-1 isn't as bad as what you might think, right? Yeah. There was just a couple of misplays in the beginning. St. Ambrose got 3 goals very early on, and St. Cloud later on were able to get 1 in. I think they've sort of hit their drift now. I think they know exactly what they need to do.
It took them a little bit to get up to speed, we'll say, with the Bees. And then once the Huskies got rolling, I mean, they were going blow for blow.
Oh, absolutely. The defense really was tightening up towards the end. They recognized, hey, where's the goal? Who's in the goal? We got to get someone in there. And at the end of the game, they were able to do so. The rotations were tighter. They were able to get in. St. Ambrose, though, at the beginning came out pedal to the metal. And so going into the rest of the series, I fear that St. Cloud is going to take that same amount of time to get started up. They really need to get into these games fast-paced immediately.
And again, for St. Cloud's sake, you got to come out guns blazing here in game 2. It's a best of 5, so you don't want to go down 0-2 in the series because then your backs are really against the wall.
Absolutely.
So for St. Cloud, for me, I'd like to see them just get the first goal and go from there.
Absolutely. I'm very eager to see what game 2 is going to have for us, as I think that St. Cloud can really bring this back. I think that this is the opportunity for them to do so. I'm eager to get into the second game. We're going in right into the action.
It's a good trio that St. Cloud has. It was Slugdog to get the opening goal. We'll see what they can do. Schlonker's going to get ripped away by Slug. Flamethrowers right there. Power can't get the clear. N-Bunk is going to get this one upfield. Mistouch. Power sent wide. Schlonker's going to just get it outside the hash mark. Send it away. No harm, no foul. We'll stay knotted here in the first 30 seconds.
Schlonkers playing through this midfield in Bunk, trying to get a play right in front of the goal. That's going to be a double up, though. Power right behind him. Unfortunately, you can't be doubled up on those rotations. You got to be paced out, right? Syncopation is everything with Rocket League.
Double commit it's such a big mistake that can be capitalized by teams, as you limit the space you can cover as a team. St. Cloud, are you kidding me? They come back from the brink once again as St. Cloud shuts down the Bees, but the Bees are holding on to this midfield pressure very strongly. Yeah,
the Bees are doing a great job of staying in this midfield, and that's what they've been doing well all season. That's how they're 4-0 thus far. They're really tightening up these passes. In the fall, that was probably one of their biggest weaknesses, was getting these passes in the angles they were looking for. Now, in the spring, you can see that work coming to fruition in these games. But, Ernie, a minute and 30 seconds in, it's 0-0.
So far, to pair Goose Eggs on the board. That's a dangerous one. Schlonkers can't capitalize. Slugdog racing the other way. He gets bumped off the ball. That's what allowed Gatormelon to pick up. Pass to himself off the wall. Slows it down. Gets a moon flick.
Ooh, but that's going to be Slugdog capitalizing. Wait, Flamethrower was waiting. It's going to go off the crossbar, and Flamethrower is going to score the first goal of Game 2.
Flamethrower found the gap in the Husky rotation. The third man was going back for boost off the wide open net, and for Flamethrower, that's just a free play goal.
Yeah, I don't think Slugdog was expecting Flamethrower to really capitalize on the ball being right in front of him as soon as he was passing it down. They were looking for a teammate for sure. Wasn't able to find someone on the Huskies, though. Instead, found the sting of a bee.
I feel like you've been waiting to say that one for just a little bit.
I may have used that one before once or twice.
St. Cloud now looking to get some pressure going, trying to start from the corner. Gatormelon and Flamethrower right there. Gatormelon taking it all himself, wraps it around the corner, gets the demo. Where's the goal? There it is, Slonker to bury. And that's about a routine play in Rocket League as if I ever seen one.
Yeah, you might as well call him Ralphie, because knock, knock, no one's home. They're home alone. Schlonkers nailing that one in. And we're halfway through this game, too. St. Ambrose now up 2-0, but this is a much closer Game 2 than what we saw in Game 1, Ernie. We're seeing tighter rotations on both sides, and really things are kicking into gear.
And a lot from what I'm seeing, it's quantity over quality for the Bees as they make it 3-0. Just continue to pepper the backboard. Good things are going to happen. Gatormelon puts his team up by 3, extending their lead here.
Yeah, I think Gatormelon probably going for the hat trick in this game. He is the dominant player, obviously, on the St. Ambrose roster. The graduate assistant coach, so eligible to play, is stepping in tonight for the Bees, and this season has stepped in occasionally in these games, really trying to make sure that they go for their playoffs run, which it's an interesting fact. The St. Ambrose Fighting Bees, their Rocket League team, has gone into playoffs the past 4 semesters, but unable to secure a chip, and I know this semester they're really pushing and they're hungry for one.
They're hungry for one, but right now they got to get past the Huskies, and so far they're doing just that. Centering pass shut down by Nbong. As Gatormelon looked to put another one in the back and that couldn't find anything. Final 90 seconds here, St. Cloud looking to get on the board once more. As they get the ball back into the blue end. But again, the passes from St. Ambrose just on point. They're always looking for a teammate.
Oh, yeah. And they're patient when they're not passing. You'll notice Gatormelon will just take the ball. He'll dribble it. He'll just take it for a minute. And I think that's where the Huskies have to get a little bit more aggressive. St. Cloud has to recognize when St. Ambrose is being passive, and that's their open opportunity to get in.
And Slonkers from way up high in the sky going to send this one striking back down to earth.
Look at this angle. Look at that angle. That is such a beautiful angle from Schlonkers, recognizing and knowing exactly how to turn the car. That is some expert level maneuver.
And back to your point, St. Cloud, they got to get in St. Ambrose's face.
They do. They do. They have to get aggressive here if they want to win the series. And really, I think they have great intentions. All these plays have been very, very narrow. They just have to be a little bit faster. The communication has to be a little bit tighter. If we're putting this in miles per hour, St. Ambrose is going 60. St. Cloud is going right around 52.
Yep. It's close, but it's just enough to where St. Cloud, they're starting to fall behind a little bit.
Yeah.
And in the final minute here, Slug trying to put another late goal in. Can't find anything. Double commit in the corner for St. Cloud. They got to space out a little bit. Power trying to wrap this one around. Just doesn't drop beneath the crossbars. You're not going to get a good shooting opportunity. Ambrose going to pinch this one away. Final 20 seconds, we'll say, will be almost an open net for Flamethrower as Slug Dog's going to get there right at the end, at the nick of time.
And I know St. Ambrose is definitely playing with some respect on the name for sure. Flamethrower going to get the second one in. That's going to be probably a 5-0 to close it out. But Ernie, do you know how I know they're playing with respect right now?
How so?
They're not playing keep away. In any other St. Ambrose game, if they're ahead this much and they know it's 4-0, they're going to win, they're just playing keep away. But they're going for shots on goal. They're really giving it their all until the end, and that's the respect that they have for the Huskies.
Okay, there we go. Right at the final second, Slug Dog going to make it 5-1. Get St. Cloud on the board, build a little bit of momentum going into game number 3 when St. Cloud does have their back against the wall. So you have a singular building block,
right,
to go off of.
Yep.
And now you have a minute and some change to build upon that going into game number 3.
Agreed. I think that that's crucial. I genuinely think that holding and on to hope and getting that goal in the last game so that it's not a goose egg on the board is going to be imperative for going into the next game. But look at those scores just straight out the lineup.
20 shots to 4.
20 shots to 4, absolutely. Nbunk definitely started playing defense a lot more that game. You'll notice the 4 saves that are on the board. But, I mean, only 2 saves from Ambrose. That just shows the level of aggression that's needed from St. Cloud to overcome the Fighting Bees.
And for me, anytime a team puts on 7 or more shots in the game, I think they're doing something right on offense. But 20? How often do you see double-digit shots in a Rocket League game you play? Very rarely.
Not often. Let's just say. But Game 3's underway, and either way, I'm calling it. The door's open. He's knocking. The janitor's looking to come in. It's going to be a sweep, and either way, we're going to get a sweep or a reverse sweep with this set. I'm really hoping it's the reverse sweep for our Huskies.
Oh, if it's a reverse sweep, I mean, the energy in this room's going to
pop off.
It's going to pop off.
A handful of people we have in here, you're going to hear nothing but chaos. As we move into Game 3, the Huskies looking to come back in this series. Nbunk looking to take this up very early. Slug Dog winning the 50, passing it up to Nbunk once more. Going to play the corner, Flamethrower, passing it into the midfield. And that's the sort of opportunity that the Huskies have to capitalize on. They had momentum, they had control, but where was the execution? Where was the goal?
Control. In that first 15 seconds, we saw them keep the ball close to them for probably the most we've seen all series.
Oh, yeah.
They're not just trying to dump and chase it down. They're working the ball upfield, trying to get some good scoring opportunities, but it's that stalwart St. Ambrose defense that's shutting them down.
Absolutely. And that's where I think the Huskies just have to be a little bit faster. All right, we have possession. What are we doing with it, right? What are we doing with the ball?
Oh, my goodness. It's a potato fest in the box, and Schlonkers is going to capitalize on it as it was just a whiff after whiff after whiff.
Potato fest?
I picked it up from Rainbow Six Siege.
I love that. Potato fest. It's a potato fest in front of the goal. Yeah, potato farm, more like it.
Not great.
No, not in a good way. You can't let the ball just roll in front of the net like that. That's where these rotations are going to have to come in handy. And I feel like it's more than likely St. Cloud is moving a little bit slower. Great play off of the goal, by the way. St. Cloud's moving a little bit slower because of this boost management, right? They really need to get this boost in.
Schlonkers off the post, as St. Cloud will get a little help from their own iron, we'll say. Another quick shot back down, Nbunk looking to go the other way. And the speed that St. Ambrose gets to their 50s, just so quick. Schlonkers doubles up once more as St. Ambrose just showing no mercy right now to St. Cloud.
Yeah, Schlonkers heating up and looking for the hat trick. St. Cloud gonna need to dig deep for this one. They gotta tighten up their processes just a little bit. It's truthfully, like we said earlier, very close. But when they have the ball, they're just being a little bit too passive. We're seeing another double commit in the corner on the side of St. Cloud.
Oh, it's a good touch from Flamethrower. From Gatormelon, you'll get credit with the goal.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Nobody. Nobody's there.
Ouch.
That's unfortunate. That's what we call a no bueno where I'm from.
No bueno.
So that's a 3-0 on the board. 3 minutes and 27 seconds. Still a lot of time for the Huskies to bring this back.
So a lot of time for St. Cloud to bring this one back. But it really feels like the veterans, we'll say, of St. Ambrose kind of putting the new kids on the block through the ringer a little bit here.
They are, yeah. The 4-year program really touching up on the first-year program. Gatormelon keeping it on the nose of the car, looking for a solid pass to Flamethrower, and they're looking for some flashy plays at this point. I know this roster, and when they're ahead this much, they're going to look to hit, maybe start digging for those flip resets.
Getting a little flashy with it. Nbunk going to carry that shot to the corner. Didn't get it on net, I should say. Slug Dog can't hold the zone. Schlonker's trying to make it 4-0, can't find anything.
Look at this midfield control from Gatormelon, right? He was patient, waiting, Flamethrower on the other side for that ball to come through. Now, that was a great play from Power to get it on to the other side. For those of you watching Rocket League, you'll notice that the cars are just flying through the air. If you're not familiar with Rocket League, that boost on the ground, those yellow dots are how they really refill their car. That's how they're able to get through the air. So if they utilized all that boost, they're at a huge deficit in fighting in the air or getting control of the ball.
As the final 2 minutes approach here, St. Cloud State has a tall mountain to climb to get just back into this game. As they need 3 to tie, potentially 4 to win to force OT. It's a double commit on the goal line. Huskies can't force it through.
because of that double commit, they were not able to capitalize on Slug Dog actually regaining control for the Huskies. Slug Dog had great rotation, keeping that ball up. That's going to be Power pushing it back through. St. Ambrose capitalized, and that's a pinch. Ooh, into the crossbar, but off the backboard once more. Power regaining control. This is a back and forth that I'm loving to see from these teams, Ernie.
It's when St. Cloud is in a rhythm, they can compete.
Yeah.
They're neck and neck with St. Ambrose. Slug Dog trying to throw it down. Power's going to pick it up. Chase this one into the corner. And Nbunk's just not there. He's just trying to hold that backfield line. Final minute approaching. At St. Cloud State, they got to go all out here.
Yeah, notice that ball stood in that corner for a minute. St. Ambrose just waiting for the Huskies to capitalize. Great save from Power as Flamethrower puts one on goal.
Gatormelon looking to work this one around the corner. Tries to get a second touch off the backboard. Couldn't find anything. Flamethrower holding it in. Schlonker's soft touch. Pass to himself off the backboard to get sent away. And right now it feels like the vice grip from St. Ambrose just tightening its grip.
Oh, yeah. 30 seconds left. It's not impossible, but the odds are looking bleaker and bleaker. And with one more in from Flamethrower, it's looking torched.
And the Bees have come out in full force.
They're buzzing.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
That's good.
They'd call it sweet victory for them, honey, honey, honey. But I still think the Huskies have a chance to bring this back. They just got to tighten it up. You got to get in this midfield, not let Schlonker score here. Great, we're already ahead. Flamethrower looking for control. 15 seconds left. Are the St. Cloud State Huskies going to be able to get one more in the goal in this game 3? Gatormelon passing it midfield. Schlonker's looking for a play. It's going to narrowly hit the crossbar. Flamethrower. Oh, what's that? Flipping it? Yep, that's the hat trick. Flamethrower going with 3 for this game.
I mean, Flamethrower, who's really kind of been the cleanup man for St. Ambrose so far this series. What I've seen is teammates can pepper it off the backboard enough time. Flamethrower will bury it home.
Absolutely. 4 seconds left. Kickoff is going to go to St. Ambrose. They're looking for one more in the bank. Gatormelon going to find it for 6 on the board.
And with that, St. Ambrose is going to get out the broom.
Yep.
And sweep St. Cloud. First time all season St. Cloud has not won a game in a series.
And to the number 1 currently in the Emergents Division, St. Ambrose. Now, St. Ambrose has a tradition in their program where they're going to sign the broom after this match. And kudos to them for that. I think this is the start to a great rivalry between these teams for sure.
And for St. Cloud State, you know, there's still plenty of time left in the season. Go back to the drawing board a little bit. Go back to practice. Be like, okay, this is what we did wrong. This is what we got to fix. These are some things we did right. I'm sure head coach Kai has plenty of things to say for them.
Yeah, I'm more than certain. And they still have a chance at a playoffs run, right?
Yes.
This puts them 3-3. They take the even one match in the next 2 weeks. That is a qualifying playoffs run for them.
Yeah.
So
I believe only there's 9 teams in the conference and top 8 make it. So things are looking okay.
Things are looking pretty good. Their seed is going to be a little skewed from this match, right? But they have the chance to go into the playoffs and send St. Ambrose packing back to Davenport, Iowa.
And you know what's nice? What's nice about this tournament is you get to play everyone that you'll potentially see in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
So you'll have some film on them.
Yep.
You can look back and be like, okay, we can exploit them here. Here's where they exploited us. This is what we have to focus on.
VOD review is absolutely crucial, and the team already thinking about what they're going to do to change things for next week's match, which is a great sort of transition moving into things. Next week, we'll be here once again, 7 o'clock. The St. Cloud State Huskies will be going up against their next opponent in the Emergents Division. That is up on Huskies Connect. The schedule will be posted later this week, I believe, on the Twitter account. So stay tuned, stay awesome, and stay up to date with what we're doing here for Rocket League and the NECC for St. Cloud State. I've been Chase Newcomb, and I've been joined by Turney Ernie. Yep, and we'll be back again next week. Thank you all for watching. Have a great weekend.